Hey, house guests! Welcome to today's BB23 updates and spoilers. Happy Eviction Day! Yeah, you guys just missed Mom. I'm sorry. She'll be back later, though. Don't worry. Welcome. I hope you're all having a great Thursday so far. Our house guests of the day are Kathy Bartek and Catherine Keys. Thank you both so much for the support. We could not do this without you, and we appreciate it so much. And if you guys want to be house guests of the day, check out our Patreon link in the info box below. Oh my gosh, we have two Kathys as house guests of the day today. I was just thinking this morning about when we used to do the week of Kathy, and I missed that, but I haven't been doing them in alphabetical order this season. So all my Kathys are split up. We actually had like 3 in a row, which is funny, even though we're not in alphabetical order, but I'd love to see the week of Kathy come back in the future because it's a lot of fun. But anyway, I also want to thank all of our super chatters before we get going here because you guys went wild yesterday and we were really feeling the love and we really appreciated it. Oh, I feel like I have a cut on my tongue and it's like hard to talk. But anyway, our super chatters: Jody Cortez, Derek Johnson, Jefferson Tucker, John, Ben Lord, Laura Greer, Sharon Devoto, Laura Greer again, Don MH302, Jefferson Tucker again, Superstars, oh my gosh, Laura Greer. Laura and Jefferson, you guys really you were way too generous yesterday. You're so sweet. Ace Breakers, Airsoft, Alex Garza, Fabio Andres Fabiani, M Collective, Jared H, Traval K, Brittany Braden, Yanil Gonzalez, Ordered Steps, Destiny's Ma, and Jefferson Tucker again. Thank you all so much for the support. We really appreciate it. We couldn't do this without you. Yeah, Mom's getting ready because she's going to be doing the spoilers this weekend. Woo! All right. And I see we already have a super chat here from Jefferson Tucker. Thank you so much, my stage manager. Yes, the executive producer is back there in the closet. But anyway, let's get started. When we left off yesterday, Brittany and Frenchie are up on the block because Derek X did not use the power of veto. Why would he? So we talked about yesterday, Brittany was doing her one-on-ones and everyone was pretty much telling her that she has their votes this week. She's got nothing to worry about. I also want to note, Whitney freaking spilled during her one-on-one with Brittany. She told Brittany, Frenchie was saying that you're the one that started the French Kisses Alliance. She warned Brittany that Brent is targeting her, Azza, and Claire if he wins HOH. And she talked about how much she wants Brent out. And she wants there to be a girls' alliance. She doesn't want it to just be a rumor. She wants it to be the real deal. I would love to see it happen. I would love to see it. But anyway, all week, Frenchie was saying that he is not going to campaign against Brittany. But then Derek F was really pushing him to do it. So he did. So Frenchie was like, all right, first of all, I'm not campaigning against Brittany. He was saying a lot of the same stuff to everybody. He said, I really don't want to leave this house. I changed the game. I changed the trajectory of the game week 1 by taking out a jock. Never been done before. Who's going to tell him? He says, I made a mistake and I owned up to it. I am a little bit curious which specific mistake he is talking about because there were a lot of mistakes last week. A lot of mistakes. But he says, I want a second chance. And if I stay, you're going to see a much quieter me game-wise. I feel like that would deter people from keeping him. Why are you going to keep somebody who says that they're going to be more low-key moving forward? No, get out of here. So it doesn't seem like his campaigning was really changing any minds. So let's move on because we got a lot of other stuff to talk about. So Brittany checked in with Azza in the yacht club bedroom and she is sharing all the dirt that she gathered during her one-on-one conversations. And I just want to note, she also shared pretty much all this information with Tiffany and some of the other girls as well. So this information is kind of floating around now. But Brittany says Whitney told her everything during their one-on-one. And she says, Brent cannot win the next HOH because if he does, you and me, we're going up. he is convinced that Claire or I started the all-girls alliance, and he made up a story about you to give himself a reason to target you. Remember, we talked about this yesterday. Brent is claiming that Azah got heated with him during a discussion of the differences between a floater and a coaster, strategy-wise. And he's saying, like, yeah, she snapped at me, she went crazy, blah, blah, blah. But other people who were there for that conversation are standing up for Azah and saying, no way. She was calm during that conversation. No. So it turns out Brent is a Karen. Who knew? But Brittany is saying Brent wants the girls gone. So they really need to get him out of here. So then Brittany says, Whitney also told her that Team Aces had a chat without Brent. So that would be Derek X, Hannah, and Whitney. And they don't want to win HOH. They're going to throw HOH this week so that Brent will be eligible for nominations and eviction, because if somebody from Team Aces wins HOH, that whole team is safe. So the other 3 people on that team are willing to throw this competition to make sure that Brent can go. That is dedication and sacrifice right there. But Brittany says, obviously, Brent cannot win HOH. However, she also does not want Xavier to win HOH because she says he's the only person that did not tell her during their one-on-one that she has his vote. He was all like, I need to hear Frenchie out as well, and then like think about it, and I'll get back to you. But everybody else was just like, I'm voting for you to stay. So she did not feel totally comfortable after that conversation. So then Azah was saying if she wins HOH, she would put up Brent and Whitney. She says, Brent, I'm coming for that ass. She is ready to make a big move here. All right. Meanwhile, Frenchie checks in with Big D on the Sky Bridge. Frenchie is counting out his potential votes this week. He's like, Tiffany, Big D, Sarah Beth, Christian, Alyssa, Brent, and Xavier. So that's 7. There's 12 people voting this week. So you would need 7 to stay without forcing a tie. So he says, I can have those votes. No effing way. What? But he says to Big D, you got to get the slaughterhouse together. That will bring in Sarah Beth. That solidifies it. Huh? So Big D's like, yeah, I'll talk to them. He didn't end up talking to them all together. But Frenchie says, all right, I doubt it's going to happen. I'm not exhaling because he's like, oh, doubt, like, I'm not going to get the votes. Like, that's great and all. I'm exhaling because if he thought he was honestly going to get those votes, I'd be really worried for him, like, psychologically. But he knows it's a long shot. But Big D says, at least we're trying. At least you're not just going out of here without even trying to stay. So Frenchie says, I gave it everything I got. Did you, though? Because it kind of looks like the most minimal campaigning possible. I don't know. It was pretty lame. So Frenchie says, worst case scenario, I walk out of here with my main goal of the whole season already accomplished. If your main goal was pandering, then congratulations, you did in fact achieve that. But no, he's referring to making sure that a woman or a person of color did not leave week 1. Okay, so anyway, moving on. A little later, Team Queens, they were meeting up in the HOH for a strategy chat, and they feel good about keeping Brittany this week for a lot of reasons, but they feel good because she said she'd be going after Brent if she wins HOH. She told Kyland and Derek X straight up, I'm not going to put you up on the block. I'm not going to put you up as a replacement. So you don't need to worry about that. So Kyland feels secure with Brittany staying. So then they discuss their target for next week. They're feeling pretty confident that the Kings are working with them. So they don't want to target anybody from the Kings. That's Christian, Alyssa, Xavier, and Sarah Beth. So now they're trying to figure out who should go first between Brent and Whitney. Who is the bigger target here? So Claire says, Brent seems to be throwing my name out there more than Whitney is. However, Whitney is smarter than him game-wise. But then Tiffany brings up how smooth Brent is socially. He's very persuasive. He's in check with his emotions. He doesn't freak out under pressure. And he's able to be part of a lot of conversations without making himself a target. I'm not sure about that last point because Brent is basically like the new house target. So I feel like that reason isn't the most sound, but whatever. So Claire brings up, yeah, but Whitney has more connections throughout the house. And Tiffany's like, you're right about that. Alyssa and Whitney are the two people keeping the kings and the aces tied together. So Tiffany says she does have something good to say about Brent. She says Brent is a loyal player, but that's only going to matter if he gives them his loyalty. If he's going to be loyal to somebody else, it's not going to be good for them. So Tiffany is wondering, maybe we should keep Brent around to be a bigger target in front of us, like a shield, a meat shield. And Claire says, even though he's throwing my name around there, if we can strike some sort of a deal with Brent, I would be happy to send Whitney out next. Is that what they're doing? So Tiffany says, honestly, neither Brent nor Whitney have talked any game with me so far. Yikes, that's pretty scary 2 weeks in. But she says, I've heard that they've approached the Kings to work together. So I'm cool with either one of them going. It doesn't matter like that much to me. So then Kylan chimes in. He says, if I'm going to be going up on the block potentially week 4, I would much rather be up on the block against Brent than Whitney because he feels like he would be safe against Brent or at least have a chance. But Whitney, he'd probably be going. So seems like they're leaning towards getting rid of Whitney first, but they're still undecided on that. I mean, they got to see who wins HOH and the wild card and like all that. So everyone, they're all getting a little ahead of themselves. But anyway, what else are they going to do? So there were some more team meetings last night. The team meetings were fun at first, and now I'm kind of over them. But anyway, Team Aces, they were talking in the bathroom. Brent, Whitney, Derek X, and Hannah. And Brent says, all right, I was just up there, and Team Queens, they want to meet with us in like 10 minutes. And he says, I already know what they're going to propose. They're going to ask us to align with them. And he says, obviously, Team Queens does not know that we're already working with Team Kings. So we're going to have our stories straight, make sure like everybody's on the same page so that we don't spill any information here. And on a related note, the alliance between Team Aces and Team Kings is called the Radicals. So he says we need to all be on the same page so this doesn't blow up in our faces and then everybody's coming after us. So Hannah's like, you know what? If we're going to set up a deal with Team Queens, this is good for us. It's going to be extra protection for us. And Brent's like, yeah, but if we win HOH, who do we put up on the block if we're working with Kings and Queens? So they talk about targeting Team Jokers. Put up Brittany and Ozna, maybe Derek F as the replacement nominee if necessary. Okay, so then Team Queens and Team Aces meet up in the HOH room. And I've been meaning to mention this for a while now. Kylan's voice sounds so much like Jimmy Fallon's. It freaks me out at times. I don't know if you guys have picked up on that or if you agree or you're like, hell no, but it's been freaking me out. But anyway, Kylan says, you guys have already expressed that you would not target me next week as appreciation for like how this week went for taking Frenchie out. But Team Queens is going to have the least amount of people competing in the next HOH competition because he's not eligible to compete and they're down a player. So there's only going to be 2 queens in that HOH competition. So Kylan says, we just wanted to check in with you guys, see where you sit with that. AKA offer us protection. So Brent says, if you're willing to work with us, we can provide you with protection for as long as possible. So they all start laughing at Brent's Mafia-like delivery, and they all agree, like, yeah, we're down with it, for sure. this alliance is a sham. But Brent starts talking about his targets. Brent was doing a lot of talking during this meeting. Brent says, if I win HOH, I would put up Brittany and Azza, and here's why. He says, I would use the narrative that Frenchie put out there about there being a girls' alliance, and that would be my justification for putting them up, even though it may not be true. So he says that if one of them comes down, Derek F would go up as the replacement nominee. Yikes. I feel like Claire has to be pissed hearing this, especially because she's also heard that Brent has been throwing her name around as one of the leaders of this French Kisses alliance. So she can't be enjoying this. But by the end of the meeting, they solidify their alliance and call themselves the Mafia. And after, like, when the meeting's over, they put out their fake cigars and cigarettes. Oh boy. So after Team Kings, that would be Christian, Alyssa, Xavier, and Sarah Beth, they go to the HOH room to meet with Team Queens, and they're all discussing how it would benefit all of their games to work together. And this has been coming for a while now because they've been wanting to set something up with the two teams and Derek X as well to make 8. So Kylan says, I feel like this is a good time for us to be transparent with each other. He says, we all want to work with people that we enjoy hanging out with. You know, we got a lot of downtime in here. So that is a factor. And, you know, they have fun together. So then they were talking about how they have to share information with each other. If other teams are trying to work with them, they need to share that with each other. Things like that. So then Team Queens spill that the Aces just made an alliance with them. They don't say the name because they don't want to risk it slipping out by accident and then Team Aces finding out about it. But Team Queen says, that was not real on our end, just so you know. That we didn't even know that they were going to offer that. Brent just, like, set it up. He was the one that was really pushing for it. So they say that the Kings, Queens, and Derek X alliance, the alliance of 8, is the real one. And I just want to note, too, Derek X was not present for this meeting because it would have looked really sus. But he was filled in later on what was discussed. So they decide to call themselves the Royal Family. And later, they were coming up with, like, nicknames for themselves within the alliance, like King Kyland and Queen Tiffany and, like, Lady Alyssa and all these, like, names like that. Cool. Also, I don't know how I feel about another 8-person alliance. Even though I like more of the people in this one, no 8-person alliances. No. All right. So while that meeting was happening, Hannah was chatting with Derek X and Whitney on the Sky Bridge. And Hannah was like, all right, how would you guys feel about working with Christian, Alyssa, and Xavier once Brent is gone? Now, this was interesting because we know that Hannah doesn't want to work with this crew. She does not want to work with that trio. But I feel like she was presenting this almost in a positive light, just in case, like, this information came out later. That's just the vibe that I was getting. I thought that was very smart on her part. But anyway, Whitney says she fears that they wouldn't make it very far with that trio because that trio is super tight. So once it got down to it, they would be huge targets. So Whitney is also saying she's not sure if she trusts Christian. Plus, Alyssa's super tight with all the guys. So Whitney's like, I don't know. I feel really good working with Kylan's team. And Hannah agrees with that. And Derek X does as well. So then Hannah brings up her concerns about Alyssa. And this is like the conversation that we talked about yesterday that she had with Tiffany and Claire. So she was saying, yeah, if you think about it, if any of us were up on the block against Alyssa, we would be the one going, not Alyssa. She has great relationships with everyone. She's protected on all sides. So you might want to think about getting rid of Alyssa. She's like the ultimate pawn. So they also talk about breaking up Christian, Alyssa, and Xavier before jury. And Hannah's saying, we don't have to get rid of all 3 of them. That's not what I'm saying. But one of them has to go before jury because we cannot let a tight trio like that make it all the way to jury. So Derek says, cool, if Brent wins HOH, I'm going to try and convince him to target Christian. I feel like that's definitely a possibility because there's that weird, like, love triangle with Brent, Christian, and Alyssa. And Derek says there's no point in taking out Brittany next. She is not a threat to us. So then there was just more talk about how Alyssa has to go soon because she is the bridge connecting so many people all throughout the house. And Hannah's saying straight up, we should take out Brent next week and then Alyssa right after. And Derek X is like, whoa. Like, let's not get ahead of ourselves here. He's worried about information like this getting out too soon. So he's like, we got to keep this hush hush. We don't need anybody finding out about our plans and like Alyssa hearing that we were saying that. So then also last night, Hannah checked in with Tiffany and Claire in the Coral bedroom. And first of all, Hannah's like, that Mafia alliance is fake, right? Because if it's for real, it doesn't really make sense. You know, we've talked so much about how we need Brent out of here. But Tiffany and Claire confirmed, like, yes, that was fake. So Hannah says, excellent. She shares that the rest of her team cannot stand Brent. They want him out. She says Whitney is throwing the HOH competition so that Brent won't be safe. And she says that Whitney is also down to take Alyssa out soon. Ooh. So Tiffany was pretty surprised hearing all this because she didn't know that Whitney felt that way about Brent. Oh yeah, Whitney cannot stop talking about how much she cannot stand Brent. She is so over him. So Hannah also shares that Whitney and Derek X expressed interest in working with Team Queens after the Team Twist is over. I kind of like that group. I don't know. It seems like a fun six. I'm into it. But anyway, yeah, Whitney and Hannah ended up talking to Kylan later about all this stuff, like Whitney wanting to throw the HOH so that Brent will go, talking about working together after the Team Twist was over. So, okay. Later, the Have-Nots got to eat at midnight. So that was Team Aces, Brent, Whitney, Hannah, and Derek X. Congratulations to them. And today, it's eviction day. Woo! So on an unrelated note, Christian and Alyssa have decided that they need to distance themselves from each other a bit. They don't want people to think that they're a showmance or even a duo. That's going to put a bigger target on their backs. So I feel like some of this also has to do with apparently the diary room told Alyssa that they wanted Alyssa and Christian to kiss. And I think she got a little weirded out by that. She was also saying she doesn't want to look like a fool on TV. So I think they freaked her out a little bit. So we'll see if they actually end up like staying away from each other. I don't know. It might be too late at this point. Everybody's linking them together, but we'll see. There wasn't really any last minute scrambling for the nominees. It is pretty darn set that Frenchie is going. The vote should be 11-1, with the one being a pity vote from Derek F. Unless somebody else throws another rogue vote into the mix. I don't think so, though. I think this is just going to be 11-1. But yeah, everybody is also on board with Brent as the next target. Hi! Oh, they're done with Frenchie. They're throwing him out. They're moving on to the next target. And they're pretty much all in agreement. It's going to be Brent. Hannah, Whitney, Derek X, all on Team Aces. They say they're going to throw this HOH competition. Come in! So that Brent won't be safe for the week. And some other people are saying that they want to throw it too. And I'm getting a little nervous that too many people are saying they want to throw it. And Brent could end up winning this thing. Hi, sir. Brent doesn't seem to realize how much danger he's in at this point.
Good.
Yeah, he's worried if like Brittany or Azza win HOH, but he's got everybody wanting him to go next week.
Yikes.
So it should be fun. Should be fun to see how things play out tonight and next week. We'll see how it goes. But I want to thank all of our super chatters. You guys are awesome. So Jefferson Tucker, thank you so much. The Real Late Night Crew, thank you so much. And they said, salute from Shay, support BB creators. Nice.
Word.
Yeah. True that. Stephen Davis, I thought this said Davies. Stephen Davis, thank you so much. Twice. Alex Garza, thank you so much. Cassandra, thank you so much. And Cassandra says, if you were in the game and a team captain, who would you choose for your team? Okay, so I would definitely, okay, I guess we have to look at this too. Like, you have to pick one girl and two guys, so it's like they did on the
but
show.
Who would you pick not knowing them like they had
I
picked?
know.
And who would you pick?
I mean, it's so
knowing?
hard to say that now.
Yeah.
I guess I would say I would want to work with Tiffany or Claire. And then for the guys, I would say Kai and probably Derek X, I would say. But who would you guys choose for your team? Let me know. Thank you for the question and the super chat. Mary Billings, thank you so much. Jody Cortez, thank you so much. I hope you have a great weekend too. And Felicia Lee, thank you so much. And Felicia says, thanks for your daily updates. Always look forward to them. Thank you. That's very sweet of you. Let me just make sure you're on here so we can thank you tomorrow too. Yeah, so I will still be doing tomorrow's spoiler, but then Mom is going to be doing Saturday and Sunday. So that's going to be a lot of fun. I hope you guys enjoy it. Well, for you too, for everyone involved. It's always fun to have a different voice, you know?
Yes.
No, it's not my wedding this weekend. You guys need to stop spreading rumors. I'm going to a friend's wedding this weekend.
Don't worry. You guys will be the last to know.
No. Catherine Cruz, thank you so much for the super chat. The week of Kathy continues.
Oh.
Love it.
Kathy.
Summer of Kathy. I'm for it. All right. I got to get going now, guys. We got some stuff to do before tonight's Eviction episode. Yeah, it's pizza night. So thanks so much for watching. And until next time, much love. And here's your awkward end of stream moment. Bye. Much love.
Where's the button?